Today's our first day of a flipped classroom. You should have these guided notes in front of you. If you don't, you can go to Blackboard and print yourself a copy. You'll notice on the left-hand side you've been given some space to jot down any questions that you might have, so you can keep track of your questions and ask them when you do get to class. We're looking at Unit 6, Rational Functions, and our learning target today is I can multiply, divide, and simplify rational expressions. A rational expression is simplified when the numerator and denominator have no common factors other than 1. Have no common factors other than 1. So if I ask you to simplify something, you'll know you're done when you have no common factors other than 1. Remember, you can only divide out common factors and not common terms. So we'll look at that. Here are 3 steps to simplify a rational equation. The first is to completely factor the numerator and denominator if necessary. So it might already be factored for you, and that's why it says if necessary. Step 2, cancel out any factors that are common to both the numerator and denominator. And step 3, rewrite your answer, your simplified answer. Our first example, it says simplify x times the quantity x plus 5 all over x squared. So our numerator is factored for us. The denominator, we could write it as x times x. When we do that, we notice we have this common factor of x in both the numerator and denominator. If it's in both numerator and denominator, we can cancel it out. That was step 2. And step 3, rewrite your simplified answer. So we just rewrite x plus 5 over x. X plus 5 is a factor. We can't split this group up. So I don't want anyone canceling out the x's that you see here. Let me show you why. We had x plus 5 over x, and we let x equal 2. So I'm just going to substitute in a 2 for x. 2 plus 5 over 2 is the same as 7 halves. If I had this common factor of 2 earlier, could I cancel those out? If I did, I'd be left with 5. Is 5 the same as 7 halves? No, so we cannot cancel out common terms. We can only cancel out common factors. The second example, x squared plus 3 over x. Can we factor x squared plus 3? I hope you said no. In the denominator, we just have x. So, are there any common factors in the numerator and denominator? I don't see any. The only common factor is the 1, so we know we're simplified. Let me highlight my answer in the last example too. The next problem, we have x squared minus 4x minus 12. So I need to factor this numerator. I'm looking for factors of negative 12 that add to negative 4. So we like to factor in the morning, I like to say. Add the middle term, multiply for the last term. So we're looking for factors of negative 12 that add up to negative 4. We have a negative number in the middle, so we know we want the larger of the 2 factors to be the negative 1. These pairs of numbers are multiplying to make 12. This pair adds up to negative 4. So I'm going to have x plus 2 times x minus 6. In the denominator, x squared minus 4 is a difference of squares. To factor that, we're going to have x minus some number and x plus some number, or x plus and minus. The square root of 4 is 2. You could also think of this as x squared plus 0x minus 4, what are factors of negative 4 that add up to 0? Positive 2 and negative 2. So we factored both the numerator and denominator. That's step 1. Step 2 is to cancel out any common factors. So I see an x plus 2 in both numerator and denominator, so those get to cancel out. On the top, I'm left with x minus 6. On the bottom, x minus 2. You can treat these as a group. You can write these parentheses if you want, just to know that that's a factor. It can't be split up. Only if that exact piece matches something on the bottom can you cancel it out. Don't just cancel out those x's. No, no, no. Example 3, 3x squared over 3x cubed plus 21x. 3x squared we could write as 3x times x. If we factor the denominator, the first thing when I want to factor is look for a greatest common factor. Always first thing. What's the greatest common factor here? we take out a 3x. 3x cubed divided by 3x leaves me with an x squared. And 21x divided by 3x leaves me with a 7. So now I want to cancel out common factors. I see a 3 in both the numerator and denominator. I have an x in both the numerator and denominator. I am left with x over x squared plus 7. I'm going to stop the video now and go on to the second page, just so if you have to go back and look at an example again, you can go to the appropriate page instead of searching through a longer video.